Hello everyone, today I'm here to do another author video. Today I will be talking about Sarah Dessen, my favorite contemporary author. If you don't know already, like I said, I love Sarah Dessen. She is just my favorite contemporary author. I've been reading her ever since I was like 17. I'm 28 now, just for reference, so it has been a long time. My love for Sarah Dessen. And basically what this video is going to entail, I'm going to talk about each and every one of her 12 books. That's right, 12 books that she has published. I'm going to tell you my favorite by her. I'm going to tell you what books I like and what books maybe I don't like so much. So basically these author videos are just to help guide you if you would like to pick up a book by this author. It'll let you know which ones I would really recommend to you and maybe which ones I would kind of steer away from, all while giving you a general synopsis about each one of her individual books. So without further ado, let's begin because we have 12 books to talk about, so it's gonna be a while. So out of her 12 books, I have 4 books that I really narrowed down that are my favorite Sarah Dessen books. And usually I really like all Sarah Dessen's books. There's only a few that I'm really not a fan of, but for the majority I like all of her books. I just like her writing, I like her characters, I usually like them all, but I narrowed it down to my 4 favorites. The first thing I'm going to talk about are my 4 favorites and why I recommend them to you. I still don't know if I have a really favorite Sarah Dessen novel, but I think this one might come close, and that is The Truth About Forever. I love The Truth About Forever. It's just one of my favorites, if not my favorite by her. It's about a girl named Macy who is going to be alone this summer because her boyfriend is going to brain camp. She's actually working at a library to fill up her time, but also mourning the loss of her father who died not so long ago. But while this is happening, she's having, you know, a long, boring summer. But then things happen and she gets this random job at a catering company where she meets a whole slew of new friends and she meets a love interest, and it's all about that. Sarah Dessen's books are really known for, yes, contemporary books, how they have a cutesy romance going on, but they also each, I think, have an individual meaning behind them. This one in particular really focuses on grieving. Grieving in particular for Macy because she is mourning the loss of her father and how her and her mother are going to get through it. So this book is all about grieving, coming to terms with grieving and how to cope with it. Of course, each person is their own with that, but I really think that this really focuses on that and I really loved it. I just love this book so much because of the fact they deal with grieving so well, as well as the fact it's the side characters. Sarah Dessen writes amazing main characters, but I really love her side characters. Each book has this new cast of friends that I just immediately fall in love with, and you will fall in love with them too because they're just so amazing. So I highly recommend The Truth About Forever. It is probably my favorite by her. I highly recommend this one. Like I said, this is probably my favorite Sarah Dessen novel. Moving on to another one of my favorites, and that is Lock and Key. You can be assured that each one of these is going to make you smile and have a cute love interest, but this one really focuses on family and the dynamic of sisterhood and, you know, picking up the pieces when family goes away. This one follows Ruby, who takes care of herself. Her mother has had a lot of problems with drug issues and other things, and then her mother just vanishes up out of nowhere, and Ruby's just like, I guess I have to take care of myself. And then the state gets involved, and Ruby gets sent to live with her older sister, who she really hasn't talked to for a while and really has a very tense relationship with. But as she moves in with her sister and her sister's husband, she really starts to form a bond with them and really discover what family is, really reconnect that bond that they once had a long time ago. I love this one for the sheer fact, again, like I said, the sisterhood vibe is so strong in this one. I loved watching Ruby and her sister's relationship really uncurl and things like that. And also, Ruby's older sister goes through some things that I personally have went through with pregnancy and things like that. And while rereading it a couple years ago, it really brought a whole new light and really brought a whole new love for me for this book because I connected with it when I was younger and I connected with it when I was older. So I really just felt a very personal connection to especially Ruby's older sister. But I loved it, and I really love this book for the sheer family aspect, for it was just very adorable. This one really pulls at your heartstrings. All of them really do, but this one in particular is the one I think that really pulls the most of my heartstrings because I loved watching Ruby and her sister bond together again. It was just really awesome. And that is Just Listen, and I adore it just as much as well. This one is all about speaking your truth, coming to terms with things, to, you know, speak what you need to speak that you've held in for so long, honestly, and that's the title goes with it, Just Listen. This is all about a girl named Annabelle who once had everything. She was a girl that had a popularity, boyfriend, everything, you name it. And then one night something horrific happens and you don't know for a while what happens, and then everything literally comes undone. She is now cast aside at her school. She eats alone. She doesn't talk to anybody. No one really likes her anymore because of what happened that night. Friendship with her best friend Sophie has also diminished completely, and she's really struggling with that as well. And then she meets Owen, who Owen is a music guy, and they start connecting over music. music, and they form a relationship, and Owen really tries to help Annabelle to speak her truth, to come to grips with things that have happened, to move on and let other people hear what she has to say. And that is what this book is all about, and it is adorable. I think these two characters do show up in other Sarah Dessen novels, which is another fun treat. You can see as characters that you've read before in previous novels will sprinkle throughout other books, so that's pretty cool. This one is very, very great for just the listening aspect. I think the romance is one of my favorites in this book, honestly, because Owen is just a music kind of brooding guy, and I really enjoyed him. I love all the love interest in any Sarah Dessen book, if I'm honest with you, but this one is one of my favorites for the love interest, but I love this one just as much as well. And my last favorite I want to talk to you about is actually her latest release that came out a couple years ago, and that is Saint Anything. I love this book. This book is all about, you know, family. A lot of her books are about family, but each different one dynamics. This is all about Sydney, who has a very rough family life. Her older brother gets in a drunk driving accident and he gets put in jail, and her family is not feeling the way she thinks her family should be feeling. Her family is really believing that her brother was innocent. They just still kind of, you know, does whatever he wants when he's in jail, while Sydney's like, he's done something bad, he needs to know that, we need to stop coddling him even if he's in jail. Sydney's trying to feel really, really astray from her family, not agreeing with them, and then she goes to a new school and meets a whole new cast of friends, like a lot of Sarah Dessen's books, which I really do enjoy. She meets a girl named Layla who has a huge family, and they own this pizza place. She becomes really good friends with them, and then she meets Layla's older brother, which there's a love interest with, and she sees how this family is so different from her own. They're very connected to each other. They listen to one another. They respect and love one each other, when she doesn't feel like that in her own family. So it really tries to struggle with her balancing to figure out what she wants to say to her family, that she disagrees with them, as well as trying to figure out, you know, how to, you know, grapple with her brother being in prison and the weight and guilt she feels for what her brother has done because of why he's in prison. So this book, I just love this book. I love the message behind this book. This book has one of my favorite side characters ever in a Sarah Dessen novel. Like I said, all of her books are amazing for side characters, but this one might feature my favorite cast of characters. I loved Layla, and I love the whole family. It reminds me a lot of My Life Next Door by Holly Fitzpatrick kind of family, if you've read that. Amazing. One of my favorites. This one's all about a girl named Auden who really likes to stay up late at night, and that's her chance to escape everything, to escape the world. She kind of wanders around her town, and she just, you know, stays up at night to, you know, escape everything. And then she meets a boy named Eli who is a fellow insomniac, and together they start to like do these adventures at night, and he's very, very quiet, very reserved, and she can't really quite figure out why he's like that, and they start forming a bond. And this takes place during the summer, and this is all about, like, you know, along for the ride. One's all about adventure and trying to escape things and learning to do things that you wouldn't normally do. This is about Auden, who is very, very much secure in her bubble, and Eli really brings her out of that, and she also brings Eli out of it as well, because he's a very reserved and shy character. A lot of past and a lot of baggage. They both help each other out a lot, and it's learning to go with the flow of things in life by also adventure as well. Like I said, I did really enjoy this one. It wasn't one of my all-time favorites, but still, I love it so. Next is another fan favorite. I don't love it as much as a lot of other people love it, but I still really enjoy it, and that is This Lullaby. It's all about love, really. This is the one that is about love and learning how to love and learning how to deal with heartbreak and things like that. About a girl named Remy who does not believe in love. She's watched her mother marry countless men, and she just pushes the idea off of love completely. She thinks it's stupid, and then she meets the effortless Dexter, who is the star of this book for sure. I love Dexter. And her and Dexter start to date, and she's coming up on her time where she usually dumps her boyfriends, but she somehow cannot dump Dexter. She has all these reasons why she should dump him. He's messy, he's disorganized, he's a musician, she doesn't really dig musicians. When Remy started learning, maybe she is falling in love, and maybe, you know, she can fall in love, but she's really, really struggling with that and does not want that to happen. So this one's not my favorite because Remy is not one of my favorite main characters, but I still really enjoyed it, and I love, like I said, I love Dexter. It was just a really, really cute book that teaches you how to learn how to love and just coming to terms with love, and amazing. Like I said, not one of my all-time favorites, but I still really enjoyed it. The next one I want to talk about is one that I don't own. This is the only Sarah Dessen book I don't own, and I think it's being lent out to one of my best friends. I'm not sure about that. If not, I'm gonna have to buy me a copy, because I can't not own all of Sarah Dessen's books. I can't. That is What Happened at Goodbye, and I honestly, it's been a while since I've read this, but if I'm not mistaken, it's about our main character, I forget her name, and she lives with her dad, and they move from town to town a lot because her dad has a job where he has to move quite frequently. frequently. And so she never really sets roots down in one particular place. She says because she moves around a lot. But then eventually when they do move to one place, she starts to have these friends and a love interest, and she's really starting to feel a connection with this place, and she wants to call somewhere home. And it's starting to be time where her dad wants to move again, and she's really struggling to deal with that because she loves her dad so much because they don't have their mother in their life anymore. You know, trying to figure out if she wants to go with her dad, if she wants to agree with her dad and move on, or she wants to actually set down in one place and call it home. This one is a great one. Like I said, I couldn't put on my favorites because I don't remember too much about it. It has been a while since I have read it, but I remember really enjoying it. And this one obviously deals with moving away and, you know, calling a place a home. And it's really, really great for people, I think, that do travel a lot, because I know there are a lot of people that do that quite frequently. And the last one I want to talk about that I liked it, that I really liked it but didn't love it, and that is The Moon and More. This one I'm going to have to put on the liked it side, but I didn't really love it. This is about a girl named Emmeline who lives in this beach town, and she has a boyfriend Luke, and they're perfect together and everything's going great. And then she meets this boy named Theo who's an artist and really challenges everything that she believes in and really pushes herself to do different things. Emmeline's family works at this family job and she's set to take it over, but Emmeline's struggling with if she really wants that or does she want to move on, and she wants to be an artist like Theo. And Theo really helps her embrace her artsy self and really discover maybe if she does want the moon and more. See how the title did that? So it's really struggling with dreams and how to achieve your dreams if you think they're unmanageable, especially if you have a family that maybe is not feeling the same way as you with your dreams. Like I said, I like this one. I didn't love it. I wanted a little bit more from it. It kind of fell flat for me on the Sarah Dessen side, but that's not to say it wasn't an enjoyable read, because it definitely was. It just wasn't one of my favorite Sarah Dessen books. Moving on to the last set. These are her 4 oldest published books, I will say. And these are the set that I'm going to call, I can't really recommend them to you or not because I don't remember too much about them. So forgive me, I have to mention them obviously because I have read them, but it's been a while, so I can't really say if I could recommend them to you or not because it has been a while. So obviously I say I need to reread them, but I will try my best to summarize what each one is about. Dreamline. This is her one kind of darker book. So Sarah Dessen is known for writing lighter, fluffier things with a little depth in them, but this one is definitely a little bit more darker. This is all about a girl named Caitlin who starts going out with a boy named Rogerson. She becomes very different. She falls away from her mother and her sister. And in the back it says, what happens when being with Rogerson becomes a larger problem than being without him. So this one, like I said, is one of her more serious ones, and it is a very, very interesting one. Like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, so I can't recommend it to you a lot because I don't remember it, but I've heard good things about it. Next up is Someone Like You, and it has been a while since I've read this, but I remember really enjoying this, so I will say I can recommend this to you 100%, but I don't remember too much about it. I remember this one's about friendship and really a lot of aspects about friendship. It's about Haley and Scarlett, and they are best friends, and then things happen. Scarlett, especially in her junior year, her boyfriend gets killed in a motorcycle accident, and then Scarlett learns that she's carrying his baby, and you know, he's obviously deceased, and also she's about to become a young mother. It's all about their friendship. Haley knows that she can't let Scarlett down, and Scarlett's obviously dealing with a lot. This one deals a lot with friendship, a lot about other things, a lot of grieving, a lot of becoming a teen mom, and it's just a very, very, you know, very intense book, I will say, but it's great with friendship and full of love, and it is a very amazing book by her, one of her early ones that is just astonishing, and also very, very short. Her early ones you can fly through because they're all very, very short. The next one is Keeping the Moon. Again, I can't say I can recommend this one to you because this is also a really good one, but it's been a while since I've read it, so I can't remember too much about it. Her named Coley, who has not really had a great life so far, and then she goes to stay with her aunt for the summer. Moves to with her aunt, she moves to Colby, North Carolina, and she starts working at this grill, and then she meets 2 of the best friends she's ever going to have in her whole life. This is really about learning who you are and coming to terms with what other people perceive you as to what you really are. This is a really, really cute one. I think it's one of her most lighter ones and a very, very adorable one. And like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, but I remember it being amazing. The last one I'm going to talk about is probably my least favorite book by Sarah Dessen, and it might be her first published one. I'm not sure. And that is That Summer. I didn't really enjoy this one. This is just not a lot happens, honestly, and this takes place with a girl named Haven, and her sister's getting married, and things are just going crazy in her house, and she's just trying to fit in, and that's all it really pretty much is about. If you remember a movie a long time ago called How to Deal, starring Mandy Moore. It was based on this book, as well as, I want to say, Someone Like You. I think it was mixed between those 2 books. I know it was definitely that summer inspired, but I want to say they threw in Someone Like You as well. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. It's not the best movie, obviously, but you know, if you want to, I love Mandy Moore. I've always loved her since she was a singer. So just to throw that out there for you in case you're even more interested in learning more about Sarah Dessen. So there you have it. There was my author video of Sarah Dessen talking about all of her books, minus the one that I don't own. So yeah, if you are interested in Sarah Dessen, I hope that I gave you some recommendations of what to start with, and hopefully I helped you out. If you've read all of Sarah Dessen's books, please let me know what is your favorite down below. What is your least favorite? Let's have a full-on Sarah Dessen conversation. And she is going to be releasing a new book in a couple of months, which I am so excited about because it's about wedding planning and stuff, which makes me even more excited because I'm a wedding photographer. So yes, give me everything wedding. So like I said, I hope I helped you out with recommending Sarah Dessen, and I hope I turned her on to you because I love Sarah Dessen. She's my favorite contemporary author. So yeah, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.